theoretically paid Johnny Depp $20 million just for the first Fantastic Beasts, and he was only in there for like 30 seconds. So imagine the amount of money that they paid him to be in this movie, Crimes of Grindelwald, because he's been in here for more than 30 seconds, but he gets to an apartment and he just stays in the apartment the entire time. This great evil being of a person that is supposed to be even more evil than Voldemort just spends the entire film inside of an apartment, and that's it. Like, they don't do anything with him. Like, you pay one of the most highly rated actors of our generation, and you don't do anything with him.
It's bewildering. Mm-hmm. I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
He must have been on set on the first one for like half a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or a couple hours maybe. Like, okay, they gotta do the makeup on him. Okay, stand up there, you're gonna wave your arm around a little bit, and you're done. Yeah. We're gonna arrest you real quick. That's all that happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all that happened. Don't get me wrong. Like, after like the 10th film in the franchise, this is still pretty good to last this long, to actually have decent quality films like this far.
I'm conflicted about that because, like, the original books, even though I didn't like all the dark stuff that they did in that series, they still earned it somewhat because you got to like the characters in the world before they started unloading all this magical bureaucracy and dark political angsty stuff, whatever. This one didn't do that, and I feel like it's a simple formula to follow where we get the magic in there, and you're gonna like it first, but like.
What they needed to do was they needed to get rid of a lot of the characters and just have it be a film between Grindelwald, Credence, and Dumbledore. They're trying to do the Wizarding World thing, which is like, the extended universe. Like, everyone wants to do the extended universe now, which is fine, but I think that what happened was when they said, okay, we're gonna make like 4 Fantastic Beasts film, we're like, oh crap, we have Newt in here, like, well, we need to have him in there. Like, they should have just split those films apart. Like, if you wanted to continue Newt's adventures, like, go do Newt's adventures. That would have been great, because then you would have had like, fun Fantastic Beasts like movie, like
sure, I would see that.
Yeah, and then have your dark, depressing, evil thing with them going on and all that. Eddie Redmayne, I actually liked him as Newt. I think that he was born to play that character. He does it so well, and also the kid actor who plays him as a younger version of him. Yeah, that's the only time where I actually saw a kid actor who actually looked like. I felt like that would actually be Eddie Redmayne when he grew up.
Yeah. That was pretty well done. I think I liked Newt better in the first one just because he was more story relevant.
Yeah, no, he had no point in being.
I had an even harder time figuring out like, okay, well, what is he trying to do? Why do I care what he's doing in this one?
Yeah, no, there was no point of him being there.
Your suggestion is pretty good that if they had gone the Star Wars route, at least in terms of, okay, here's a series of movies, but then there's a bunch of one-offs, expanding the world. Yeah. That would actually, I think, work better for Harry Potter than it does for Star Wars. Because Harry Potter's, I could see that happening in this world a little more.
Yeah, because the way that they've done it now is that they've made it such a narrow way where it's just like, no, we have to have Newton there. We got to have Newton there.
We got to have all the American characters. They're going to show up in Paris for no reason. What?
Yeah. And really the only reason why it felt like that they had the American characters in the first one was to identify with the Americans. Like, wait, we gotta have Americans in this now so that we can identify for the American crowd.
Okay, yeah, I could go on a whole rant about the first movie too. One of the main problems that I have with the setting, this applies to this movie too, is that all the sets in the cities, everything is gray and drab and dead. Everyone's dressed in like blacks and browns and grays. Both of these movies are so colorless and lifeless. Yeah, the only color you have is when some beasts show up now and then. Oh, that's colorful. That's kind of cool looking. Then we're back to these like stone streets and these gray dead buildings, and it's so lifeless. Every scene almost is lifeless and miserable and washed out, and just everything's got this kind of blue-gray tint over it that just feels like you're like freezing to death. It's miserable. These movies are miserable, particularly this one.
There's nothing redeemable about this film.
No.
There's absolutely nothing redeemable.
Rowling needs to work with the screenwriter who can help her structure a story.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying with that. I feel like that she was trying to naturally continue a story, but then you had like these corporate hacks like standing over her, like, hey, what are you writing there? No, don't do that.
I don't agree with that.
Really?
Because my feeling was that she was so wrapped up in, here's all the characters and all the backstories of the characters. And everyone likes the characters from the first movie, so they're gonna come back and we're gonna have all these, intermingling relationships, and you're gonna learn little things about the characters' histories, and here are the flashbacks with the main or the what's her name, Lestrange, and we're gonna see Dumbledore. Like it was, to me, it felt very self-indulgent. It felt very, the fans are gonna want to see what all these characters do and how their histories are. But that it made a terrible story.
I don't know. I still feel like that the corporate people still
In
like
what
had
way?
their finger points.
In
So
what way?
there's one moment that I really picked up on it, and it was kind of comical. So I don't know. Do you know much about Dumbledore and Grindelwald's relationship when they were in the books? Okay, so she came out and said that they were lovers.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember.
And in the movie,
he references that.
he references
we were
like
more than friends.
no, yeah, or we were more than brothers, or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
Okay, sure.
And there were some people in the theater that were chuckling and laughing and such like that. To me, that felt like that was a corporate decision to not just outwardly say like we were lovers.
So you don't think it would have been acceptable for them to say, Dumbledore is gay?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, because I feel like that a lot of the corporates are just like, like we want to be inclusive, but not too inclusive.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of film producers are trying to be more inclusive in
They
general,
are trying to be more
so
inclusive, but I don't know, with a giant franchise like Harry Potter.
I guess I could see that. Like, there's probably still some studio heads that are like, well, for a kids movie, we don't want to have too much of gay stuff, because there's a lot of parents who are going to be like, I don't want my kids seeing gay stuff. In terms of discussing why a film failed, you can talk about almost every character, every scene, every element of this movie. Nothing worked, and I'm interested to see how they'll fix this in the next one. Kind of similar to how I'm a little curious how they're going to fix, Star Wars with another one of that. Like, how do you recover from this kind of thing?
I'm gonna put my money down on it right now. It's not gonna recover. Next one's gonna be crap.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be crap, just like this one.
If Rowling is the only author of it, I will agree with you. Once they release, Rowling is the sole screenwriter of the next movie, I'll agree with you, and in which case, I would consider this franchise dead on arrival. The next movie,
From here on out, if they do a separate franchise, if they do something different where it's like a Rogue One or something like that, or a Han Solo film, that could be different. But as far as Fantastic Beasts is concerned, I think it's dead.
I don't know. My vibe from the theater, people were laughing at certain moments.
People seem to be enjoying it.
People next to me were talking about, how is the story going to go in the future? How does it connect to this and that? So they seem to enjoy it. Maybe we're just weird jerks who don't like anything, or maybe.
No,
I know I am, but
no, definitely no. We're definitely gonna get some comments saying that we're horrible people.
Would you recommend this movie to anybody?
Man, that's so hard to say. I feel like that a lot of people don't touch Harry Potter as a review source because you are either on one side of the spectrum. You're either a massive Harry Potter fan, or you're not. If you're a critic, go see it. It's fun to just dissect and interesting to see. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna go see it anyways. Get it out of your system. That's it. But that's a dud. It's a dud.
In terms of enjoyment, it is a dud.
Yeah.
In terms of analyzing it as a film that is a misfire in a franchise, it's instructive. I think other companies or other writers that are trying to make a big universe should watch this, because they should see how not to do it. They should see how not to build a universe, how not to tell a story, how not to make a sequel especially. I think the only people that would really enjoy this movie are people who will uncritically consume anything that is part of this universe. I'm not gonna say they're wrong to do that. Like, if they enjoy whatever the universe is, no matter what direction it goes, just seeing all these different character backstories in this movie, if they enjoy that, fine. But from a script writing standpoint, from a movie making standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, it's a disaster. This movie is extremely flawed.
Yeah, not even from a Harry Potter perspective. They take a lot of liberties with the source material and such, which, it's fine. Like, you have to do that when you translate any kind of story into a film or whatever. With that aside, this just as a film by itself, it wrecked itself. It's horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody except people who are extremely big Potter fans who, even then, I don't know that they would enjoy it.
When I left the theater, I just kind of felt hollow and empty. I didn't really feel like that I left with any kind of emotion. Like, at least with, I give Chris Columbus a lot of shit, but even then, like, I still like the first one to a degree, and I still can walk away with that film, like, feeling some kind of emotion, or like, that was a nice little story. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's a simple, small little, cute, fun thing.
Yeah, this one, I just left frustrated.
Yeah. Spencer, I just wanted a fun magic movie with magic animals and quirky characters and magic wands and flying around, going on adventures and, making jokes and having fun. That's what I wanted.
Well, that's too bad, Sonny. You're gonna get your depressing movie film with political dialogue, and you get some fantastic beasts in there, but for the most part, you're just gonna get depression.
Set in the 1920s.
Yes, can't you tell by my accent? I'm both depressed and elated by the fact that we got to review such a horrible movie, but at the same time offered us plenty of things to talk about.
That's true. That's a good analysis, Spencer. It was really enlightening to discuss the aspects of this film with you and really get into the meat of how a movie's made and why stories are told the way they are, and the art of screenwriting, and why it's important and why it's really relevant to making a movie that people can enjoy.
It almost puts me in this awkward place between being depressed and elated and happy. Maybe we could make our own drugs.